You know that feeling, right? It's a little bit spooky. You type some half-baked idea into a search bar and boom, it gives you exactly what you were thinking. It seriously feels like mind reading. But it's not magic, it's just some really fascinating science. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and break down how search engines learn to stop just matching words and actually start understanding what we really mean. But then, of course, there's the other side of the coin, that moment of just pure frustration, where the results are so completely off, it feels like you and the search engine are speaking two totally different languages. You know what you're asking, but the machine, it's just completely lost. And this really gets to the heart of the whole problem: ambiguity. A single word like driver can mean two completely different things. I mean, if you're looking for a ride to the airport, getting a bunch of results about computer hardware is just useless noise. So the real question is, how does a machine, a search engine, learn to tell the difference? To figure that out, we're basically going to follow the story of how search grew up. We'll start with its clumsy beginnings, when it misunderstood pretty much everything. Then we'll see how it went to school and got book smart. After that, we'll cover how it got some real-world experience to become street smart. And finally, we'll see how combining both of those creates the genius-level search that we all use today. So in the early days, search engines were, well, they were very literal. They just matched the exact keywords you typed with the words they found in documents. So if you searched for driver, you got every single document that had that word in it, no matter the context. This simple keyword matching was the source of all that frustration. Okay, so the first huge breakthrough was to make the search engine book smart. The idea was to move beyond just matching words and actually teach the engine to read and understand the relationships between different ideas within its own library of web pages. And they did this using something called a semantic knowledge graph. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is as the search engine's own internal brain, a gigantic, interconnected map of every concept it's ever learned from all the documents it's read, showing how every single idea relates to every other idea. So how does this brain actually work? Well, it's basically a two-step process. First, when you type something in, it tries to classify the general topic. Are we talking about travel or technology? Maybe cooking? Then, once it has that context, it disambiguates the terms. It figures out what your specific words probably mean inside that category. And here's where you can see it in action. When the system sees the word driver and thinks the context is travel, it immediately starts connecting it to related words like taxi, car, and license. But if it senses a DevOps context, it connects driver to a completely different universe of ideas, like Docker and container. All of a sudden, the engine gets it. It understands. Now, being book smart was a huge leap forward, but it had a pretty big limitation. It only knew what was inside its own books. What about the real world? And this quote here, this signals the next great pivot. What if the engine could learn from us? And this brings us to the street smart upgrade. The whole idea was to move beyond just analyzing documents and to start learning from the collective behavior of millions of real people searching for real things every single day. This was the absolute game changer. By watching which links people click on after they search for something, the engine could build a way richer, more nuanced understanding of what people actually want. It's learning from real-world actions, not just words on a page. It's the difference between reading a textbook about a city versus actually knowing the best shortcuts because you've walked the streets yourself. Now, you could try to learn by just seeing what people search for one after another, but that data is actually pretty thin. It's kind of rare for people to search for two related but different things back to back. The real goldmine is tracking clicks. Just think about it. How many different searches like laptops, notebooks, or MacBooks could all lead people to click on the exact same product? That shared behavior forges these incredibly strong and reliable connections between different words. And one of the most powerful, most immediate uses for being street smart? Fixing our typos. Because let's be honest, we all make them, and learning from what other users do is by far the best way to correct them. Check out this perfect example. Somebody searches for modern. The Book Smart engine looks at its internal dictionary and offers a few guesses based on spelling: modes, model, modern, and maybe modem. But the Street Smart engine, it has a secret weapon. It has seen thousands of people type modern, get frustrated, and then immediately search again for modem and click on a result. It doesn't have to guess. It knows from experience what you meant. So what's the ultimate solution here? Is it book smarts or street smarts? Well, it's not about choosing one over the other. The most sophisticated search engines out there today are a hybrid, combining both of these really powerful approaches. It's really the perfect analogy, isn't it? The smartest system isn't just the one that's read every book in the library. It's the one that's also traveled the world and learned from actual experience. By putting document knowledge together with real user behavior, search becomes truly intelligent. And this hybrid model is exactly what makes modern search feel so intuitive. It's why it can untangle our ambiguous queries, fix our typos without us even noticing, and figure out that when we type netbook, we probably also mean laptop. It's the engine behind getting those truly relevant results. And here's where we zoom out to the bigger picture. This whole method of understanding intent, this combination of book smarts and street smarts, it's not just for search bars anymore. It's actually a foundational technology for how artificial intelligence understands human language, period. This is the same core tech that lets your voice assistant understand a casual command. It's how Netflix recommends your next binge watch. It's what powers those surprisingly helpful chatbots you talk to online. This whole science of intent isn't just about search. It's a fundamental layer of our entire digital world. So this whole journey leaves us with a pretty fascinating question. We've watched AI go from a literal word matcher to a system that understands what we mean by learning from all of us. So where does it go from here? What's the next big leap? Maybe it's an AI that doesn't just respond to what we need, but actually learns to anticipate our needs before we even have to ask. The groundwork for that future is already being laid today.